I'm Janice Meyer.
Daryl Meyer.
We're parents of 4 children. We live in Swift Current. We're business owners. We've been married for over 30 some years. We're people who have had both the challenge and the opportunity to learn more about mental health and addiction.
Hi, I'm Skye. I am 30 years old, and for nearly half my life I have struggled with addiction. I have been stable in my recovery now for 7 years. I want to help other young people who are struggling with addictions because I feel like I fell through the cracks within the system, and I want to try and help other young people to not go down the same path that I went through. Once I was 19th, life kind of started spiraling out of control. I ended up getting in trouble with the law. I lost my car, I lost my job, I lost my apartment, and I made the choice to live on the streets because I wanted to save as much money up as I could to get high or drunk.
And somehow she managed to live in a park in town and we couldn't find her. That was strange. You'd think in a small place like this.
I didn't want to be found. My goal at that point was to use enough that it took my life. Even just a few weeks ago, Mom reminded me that, she went back to where I had been staying, and I must have thought I was going to die. I scraped into the concrete. I love you, Mom. I think the big part was, for a long time, I didn't realize. I thought I was the only person I was hurting. At that time, I kind of started to realize that I was hurting everybody around me. It was like a tornado going through and leaving this huge trail of destruction. There's other ways to deal with emotions and feelings. Turning to alcohol and drugs is not the answer. When, you can numb out the pain for a while, but when you sober up, it's still there. And you're never too young to have a problem. That's another thing. Because I always thought, and I'm too young. I'm too young to be an alcoholic. I'm too young to be a drug addict.
It's a journey. And to be truthful, Skye has been to treatment centers in every province from BC through Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. And we've taken a little something as parents away from each place, and she's learned things and taken something away. The sad reality is that not all of that was available to us and funded. A big part of it we had to fund, but I would do it again in a heartbeat because it's gotten us to where we are. It wasn't until we recognized that this was a sickness. She wasn't broken. It wasn't our job to fix it. Our job was to love her. Yeah. And in loving her, we set some healthy boundaries, and we weren't going to enable her because in the beginning, we were a little misguided, and we enabled her by a lot of the things that we did. Once we accepted that our job was to love her, we really worked on reconnecting her with who she was before the addiction took over, and just those feelings and memories and the place in the home. She needed some security from us. That's what she needed.
It's okay to ask for help. It's not that you're weak or anything along those lines. You don't have to wait to get to the point where I was at. Till you lose everything, there's nothing left. And the other thing is, and I want to say this, recovery isn't easy in the beginning, and you have to be willing to do the work. You can't just, stay sober by just saying, okay, I want to stay sober today. If you stop drinking and you don't change the lifestyle that you're living, like I said before, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you're having cravings, talk about it. Talk to somebody that is supportive of you, right? If you're having cravings and you don't tell anybody, that's when it gets power over you.
Along the way, there were lots of terrible experiences, but we've met some really remarkable people, and we are not alone in this journey. Unfortunately, people try and hide that they're experiencing this, and I think that's very sad because they become very isolated. And I think it's important to reach out because we help each other by connecting with each other. And the treatment centers, we've met people from across Canada through sharing our story, through people Skye has helped. We have met truly amazing people, and each one has had something valuable to share with us. And I'm hopeful that we've had something valuable to share with them to make this journey just a little easier, because it's hell. It is hell, and as I said, nothing prepares you for it, and you are desperate beyond anything you can imagine. But through it all, I think one thing I can say is we never gave up hope. We always believed that we just had to keep trying, looking, believing, and there we'd get to a better place. And I think that's important for people to hold on to, that you do not give up hope, and that you don't carry shame. This is not about something you've done wrong. This is not about character flaws or that you're bad people or anything like that. This is about an illness that is not well managed in society. I would say, in fact, that people who are experiencing addiction, not only are they fighting the addiction, but they're fighting cultural norms and mores. They have to navigate life in a society where alcohol is pretty much a part of everything, and it's seen as a necessary part of things. Overconsumption is encouraged, and it's not quite as bad now, but there was a time where if you didn't have a drink, people harassed you. We know people are hurting, and if there's anything we can do or say that resonates with anybody in any way, we're willing to talk to people. They're welcome to reach out to us. We don't want to be hiding in secrecy. We want to raise awareness and reach out to other people that there is hope, there is help, and there are other people experiencing what you're experiencing, and we can help each other.
When I first sobered up, my mental health was a big issue, and I had to work hard to get help and stay healthy. A big part of that was learning to love myself, because at that point I hated myself. There was a lot of lies and deception that went on, and it got to the point where nobody trusted me. Saying sorry didn't mean anything anymore, because I would always say sorry in my active addiction, and what ended up happening was I would be back out there like an hour later using again. So I wanted to work on those relationships and regain that trust, and it took some time, but I found that for me, making amends to them was just living sober and staying that way. I tell this to people that it helps. Secrets keep us sick. It keeps you stuck between a rock and a hard place. Once you let go of those and, deal with them and let them go, life gets better.